Yeah, if we could grab one extension cord just to test
Quincy,
this.
why did the plane crash?
Why?
Because the pilot was a loaf of bread.
I don't get it.
You're supposed to laugh.
Sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think about these things and what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I come home where my body's been a mess, miss your ginger and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over?
You should do the and be quiet.
Yeah, you be quiet.
Okay. Fine.
Hello, we're Northern Lights Drive. We're usually quite a bit louder than this, so we're gonna try to keep it down. This song's called Down to Mexico. It's about going down to Mexico.
Is it?
Yeah.
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 And being quiet.
And
You be
be-
quiet. Try it.
Sitting in a bar down in Mexico. You best believe it was as fine as they come. Then it came and told me that I talk real strange, and that's okay, 'cause I changed my name. At least I'm sure about it. And I think I like it here, sitting it out on the beach. No longer a piece of debris, what shall it say? Maybe if I ponder my thoughts a little longer, I'll make like these people with hunger. And learn to forget about my day on my way home. On my way home, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sitting in a bar down in Mexico. Now when do you think that I was? I think it's cool, I think it's great, I think it's fine. No guidelines, I think I just made it across the divide. Be so sure about it. And I think I like it here, sweating it out on the beach. No longer a piece of debris, why should it see? Maybe if I ponder my thoughts a little longer, I'll make like
was great, guys. Thanks.
Thank
That's
you.
all.
Thank you very much.
Good news. So I was looking up your bio and whatever information I could find online before coming here when I knew you were the guest. And one of the things I saw in the description was that you consider yourselves a mixture of grunge and funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what people started calling it.
Right, it was like gunk rock. Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Coined a little term, yeah.
Right, it works, right? But the thing that I found interesting about that is that grunge and funk, kind of taken on the surface, are two pretty radically different genres in the sense that funk is very much about the goal of funk is to make people dance, right? So it's all groove, it's all that kind of thing, and then grunge is definitely more emotional, more the angst thing going on and all that. So how do you combine those two? Like, what I guess what made you want to combine those two? Why is that the combination?
I think it was kind of organic the way it happened, because Clint's always really loved funk and like that kind of rhythm and making people dance.
Right.
And then they play just incredibly well together, doing that rhythm and making people dance. And then I'm just really emotional.
He likes to scream.
Yeah, I don't know. I always liked heavy stuff, man. I grew up with like Nirvana and Sabbath, and this all
heavy Sabbath stage.
Heavy
Yeah.
Sabbath
I think everybody goes through heavy Sabbath.
Yeah. So and then you just kind of start jamming together, and all of a sudden that's what happens.
Yeah. I guess we all just kind of listened to different music growing up and kind of just combined all of our inspirations together.
Right. Is there anyone that you all sort of agree on though, that like kind of is an artist that sort of everyone is this is something we draw from, or
That's hard to say.
Yeah,
I think we
that's
all
a-
each have someone that we idolize or look to,
Right.
probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have a
Like
similar,
a universal, like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's hard to say.
I mean, we do like similar bands. I
We do
guess.
definitely like
I
similar
would say
bands.
like Led Zeppelin,
Zeppelin, all
like any kind of
those.
'90s grunge.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all fans of. So
Yeah.
like Foo Fighters, sure, and Nirvana,
Yeah.
like you said.
Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
well, I heard some Alice in Chains type vibe from what you guys are doing too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love main
for your music, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and that kind of stuff works well when you're playing with acoustic guitars too, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
they definitely brought like jar of flies kind of thing.
Mhm.
So,
Exactly, yeah.
Do you have any difficulty combining? I mean, obviously, grunge and funk aren't the only sounds that you draw from, but is there any trouble kind of adding maybe a danceable or groove heavy element to something that's grunge? You got the heavy, you got the
Yeah.
emotional, angsty. It's kind of dark, and then you have funk, which is the opposite of that. Like, is it hard to mesh them?
We don't really have a confine for like the music that we write.
Right.
Kind of, those are the two kind of vibes we have, and everything that comes out of it is unique.
Okay.
Each
And I
time we
think-
write something.
And I think like as soon as it starts to become challenging, it's like, okay, how do we do this? How do we do this? We just know it's like not working.
Right.
Move on, do something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
Kind of get a feel with
Yeah.
our kind of music.
first idea, worst idea, right?
Right,
You move
yeah, yeah.
on, and something else comes along. It's a little easier to do, and then you just do it.
And sometimes he comes with he comes in with a guitar riff of some kind, and he comes in with this little funky bass line, and
Right.
we just try to make it work the best we can.
Cool.
Jam it over and over and over, and play it over and over
Over.
again, and then you get sick
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
and you forget about
And
it.
then all of a sudden it comes back again. Like, whoa, dude, that was sick. Remember that song? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, not to dwell on the genre thing because I know it's a hard question for anybody. But as far as grunge goes, I feel like there's a lot of bands locally, especially, who are kind of bringing that sound back or elements of that sound back. What do you think is it just a cyclical thing where every 20 years or so everything gets recycled, or what's the appeal? Well, I mean, I like it too, but
Yeah.
why do you think it's back in?
I think it's a good question.
I think if you look at like that stage in Seattle when grunge came about, it was a very similar climate, man. Like
Yeah.
there was not a lot of music to look up to. We were all listening to our parents' music or like this crap that's on the radio that's
Right.
just really But
That's still on the radio too.
it is, yes. But then there's this change in climate where all of a sudden there's just a city that's trying to develop a scene. There's a lot of different groups of bands that are just trying to make one scene, and all of a sudden you get these different TV shows like this,
Yeah.
or like Live at the Roslyn, stuff like that, that make it possible to have a scene and
Right.
get all these bands connected, right? And I think that was a similar thing that was happening in Seattle at that time period.
So otherwise, you could have people doing similar sounds, but there's no way for them to hear each other
Yeah.
because they're one's in this
And
area.
now we
town,
start
one's
all
in-
hearing each other, and it's like, okay, well, we all kind of feel angsty. We all hate the cold. And
Right.
We're all bored as hell. So
Yeah.
let's make
I
people
feel like it's kind of
dance,
just
you know?
organically brewed in this city
Yeah.
too. You know,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
just kind of happens.
Mhm.
Were you guys? I don't know how old you guys are, but were you around? Like, were you listening to music actively when that first came about, or?
Well, I mean,
Can't remember when.
Kurt Cobain would have died in '94.
Which is, I think, the year I was
February
born.
20th.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
right. So you did. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, we just grew up listening to our parents'
Was it
music.
93
Right?
City FM or whatever is playing in the basement?
Yeah,
Right.
seriously,
Yeah, totally.
that was like our entire
Yeah.
genre. It was
Pretty much.
92 City
Yeah.
FM.
Right. And so by that point, all that stuff was classic rock anyway, right? They were
Yeah,
doing
pretty
that.
much.
exactly.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I guess what appeals to you? What is the appeal to you guys about that stuff? I mean, because obviously people listen to their parents' music or earlier generations' music, but as someone who didn't grow up during that era, you kind of would have caught the tail end of it, I guess, as kids. What is it about that sound that appeals to you? Like, why do you want to play something that incorporates that?
I just feel like there's a lot of emotion in that
Yeah,
music,
it
you know, and
sounds
it's
like
very
it sounds
raw.
like
It's
it.
just
Yeah.
you pick up a guitar, you strum and you scream and sing.
Well,
Just go
and
for
it
it.
sends a message, right? Where like a lot of the music you hear that comes out today is just that is what it is. It's music. It's something just to move to. There's not a lot of meaning behind it.
Right.
But the bad thing, you listen to songs from back then, they have the power to make you stand up, make you cry, make you. That's pretty cool, man.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
What you want, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So why do you think that's kind of stuck in, not stuck, but you're saying music back then made you feel like that. What is it about music today that doesn't have that? Like, what's missing from 2010s, 2017?
Don't get us wrong. There's
Like,
definitely
there's a
still
lot of
music coming out that's awesome.
that's wicked, but
I just
I feel like if you look at like the top 10 charts, right, like a lot of those songs, just that there's a lack of emotion. Like so half the time the artist isn't even writing the song.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like look at Justin Bieber's last hit song. Not to bash him, dude worked really hard. He got to where he is
totally.
somehow. He can't be awful, right?
Right.
But the last song that you saw, there's like 14 people writing it or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what kind of connection do you have with that piece of art that you're putting out when you really didn't put any blood, sweat, and tears in it? You know.
I agree with you, but just to as a counterpoint,
Yeah.
To be fair, like give someone like Elvis Presley who didn't write a single song his entire career, and he was,
that's
his
true.
whole thing was about interpreting other people's songs. Even guys like Sinatra and stuff before that, that was mostly just someone else's work.
Recomposed, yeah.
Right. So I mean, I think that stuff is always kind of that's what's going to be on the radio a lot of the time is things written by professional songwriters that are kind of just fluffy and whatever. But I don't know. I had a question about that, and I don't know where it went.
I can see where you're going.
Yeah.
And it's a cool thought because like it's totally true. But I feel like
Like it's not new, right?
like
I mean,
when
that,
Elvis
Yeah,
and,
totally, yeah.
and like
Yeah.
when they covered tunes, it was like, okay, we're gonna pick this song and we're gonna do it our way. This is how I would do it.
Right.
Whereas those songs that I hear, it feels like it's a producer or something saying this would sell. Sing
yeah,
this.
sure.
Yeah.
sure.
Just do this, and this is all this is for you. This is all you're gonna. This isn't somebody else's tune. We wrote this for you to sell.
But you don't think it was like that in the Elvis days?
Did he have people writing songs for him,
I think
or
he
did he
did,
pick
yeah,
a
he did,
tune?
He did, yeah.
Because there were like offices full of songwriters who would just churn out hit after hit for
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, they
I think
sounded
nothing's
better.
changed.
I don't know. I guess there's just something to be said about putting your own self on the line.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
putting your own emotion into your own music and actually putting it out there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't listen to a ton of Elvis.
I'm gonna stop listening to Elvis now.
Nothing. Yeah. Well, I mean, going back to you said about Winnipeg being now that people are becoming aware of each other's bands a little better because the internet does that.
Yeah,
Shows
yeah.
like this do that. Do you think that it's just? I feel like the way people listen to music now, the difference with a band like Nirvana playing that style of music and somehow becoming the biggest band in the world, which is never going to happen again, I don't think. The difference is the way the music industry is set up, right? I mean, do you think that now it's even possible for anyone to? There's not like one band that everyone listens to because people don't listen to the radio anymore. They listen to whatever's on their own personal curated playlist, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that the way things have changed have prevented kind of a sound from being the sound that kids listen to?
I think it makes it more difficult,
Yeah.
but I think us as a scene, a music scene, if we're a collective and they all come together, I think something could be possible.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of opens the door for possibility. There could be just more than one sound that gets heard. There's
Right.
not just
Doesn't
this
have to be a
one niche that you have to
definition, right?
fall into to be perfect or to be popular. Sorry, but instead you can make a niche. There is some people out there in the, webosphere somewhere
Right.
that might like your stuff.
And you guys might not be the only ones mixing grunge and funk, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Right. There could be other people that we
It can be a
link up
collective
with.
movement.
Man, I hope there's other
Right.
people doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. And when I was just looking up some, I mentioned I read the bio and saw the gunk rock thing. First thing that came up when I googled you was that Northern Lights Drive is a street. Is that?
Yeah.
Was that why you named the band?
We were initially called Northern Lights, and then
Thought it was too generic.
No, we found another band with the
There's
same
another
name.
band,
And we're
yeah,
like,
the
oh, we
same
can't
name.
do that.
Oh, it's like a copyright
They beat
issue,
us to
so-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we were just driving around, and there was this northern light Drive or something?
No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's
Northern
actually
Lights.
Northern
I know,
Lights
but
Drive.
no.
It said
we
North.
saw
It said
Northern
North
Lights.
Light Drive.
And we were like, man, that'd be cool if it said Northern Lights Drive. And then we ran around the corner, and on the other side of the sign it said Northern Lights Drive. And we're like,
no way.
cool.
What?
So you have no connection to the side, the street name other than just like
Just
that's-
us cruising one night and it
Yeah.
just happening like that. It
Yeah.
just one of those nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems fitting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the name I was trying to think of what it meant. It was like Northern Lights Drive. And then I realized it was a street. I don't want to
Yeah.
use that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was something related to it.
We just said, oh, that would kind of, it's still Northern Lights, but
Cool.
it's just Drive.
Cool. And do you guys have anything? Do you have any records coming out or anything like that? In the near future?
Yeah, we have an EP coming out March 2nd. We are releasing it at the Park Theatre, so come on down. It's going to
Cool.
be a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, tickets are $10. Get at us pretty soon for those, but we're going to have some promo stuff that'll
It'll be
give you
out.
a
The
little
word
bit
will be
more
out.
information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Artists to be announced.
And that'll obviously be louder than this here.
Definitely full
Put it
band.
louder, yeah.
Cool. What are you guys gonna play next?
December 9th, is it? We have
Yes.
a show at the Cavern.
Yes.
We're playing with the Love Tongues.
And then what's
Northern Royals?
Yeah, Northern Royals. Northern
that?
Royals.
Actually wasn't what I asked, but I like.
Okay, yeah.
That's useful information. I was asking what song are you to play next.
Oh,
Here,
right.
right
Oh,
But that was useful information.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was
this
like, you guys
song-
definitely misheard that.
This song's called For Your Amusement. Be amused.
Hope you guys like it. 1, 2, 4.
Smiles that you see in front of more human trial. Been one way or another, my friend. Our correspondence is long as it's the same. I've laughed, soft smiles that you see in one last human trial. Been one way or another, my friend. I'll be yours to the end. Are you my last human trial? Been one way or another, my friend. I'll be yours to the end. Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, I'm not usually the host of this show, but I do host a podcast and radio show called Witch Police Radio. It's been running for about 5 years. Interviewed 200 plus local artists, and this is really cool to be involved in this because it's kind of a continuation, I guess, of what I do on my own show. You can find those episodes at witchpolice.com or on UMFM on Sunday nights at midnight.